In reality transurfing, there's an emphasis on not going against the flow, on not producing too much effort when little is needed. This might seem that it has nothing to do with fortune telling. Currently, if you're shown this video, that means that the YouTube algorithm, which in the tech sphere is called discriminative AI, and there's other AI. For example, ChatGPT is considered to be generative. YouTube is discriminative. So it knows a lot about us. Tiny cues, tiny habits that we have, all of those, they're noticed by the algorithms of YouTube, for instance. Now, from time to time, I get videos like these on my YouTube feed, and as I wonder, why do fortune tellers use cards? Why can't they just state the thing that they think is going to be happening directly? I'm going to try and address why that is through this video. It has to do with two things. The first, as I stated about the YouTube algorithm, is that fortune tellers can't be discriminative, and they can't be like, I have this big ego, I know everything, this is how it's going to happen. Of course, these people, they have a lot of experience. As soon as they see you, they have enough experience to foretell a lot of stuff. But again, they can't straightforwardly tell you that. They have to use a medium, which is cards, or the thing that make them be in flow state. So if you've ever played poker or any type of game, I haven't played poker, but I know that once granted a set of cards, a professional player will have a set of states he wants to get in. So based on the current state of the game, you're not having only one type of winning strategy. You have a lot of strategies. You have this type of cards that are going to win you the game, these ones, a lot of strategies during every stage of the game. This means that if a fortune teller notices something about you, they have to find a way to tell you that through the cards, not in a straightforward way, not in a brute forcing way. And they're good with the cards, so they will find the patterns and find a way to tell you that this entire activity or exercise they're doing puts them into flow state. So surfing, which is the activity that is based on the name of the book Reality Transurfing, is not a logical activity. You can get into flow state with any activity. It's just a window of, if I remember correctly, how difficult the task is with, so the activity doesn't need to be out of reach, very complex, and at the same time it doesn't need to be, it can't be too easy. So there's a range where you're going to get into flow state. Also, as I'm referring to flow state, I thought about the activity of Isilman TT, which is a very fast type of activity where the riders of motorcycles, they go at very high speeds, very sharp turns. It gets the riders into very flow state type of consciousness to the point where if the rider stops or starts wondering, how am I doing this, they're going to be crashing and possibly dying. So if the rider is turning and then he starts wondering, how do I logically turn the bike, or how do I logically brake this way? There's many activities that we do and we find ourselves in the situation that if interrupted and asked, how do you do this? How do you do this activity? You suddenly lose the ability to do that. And this is the type of flow state we're talking about. And so I'm going to add into this an observation of mine, which is that if I try and listen to a language consciously, and try to understand it, a language that I have never learned. But I know a little bit of French. No, actually, I know a lot of French. If I listen to Italian, for instance, and I try to understand what is said in a 5-minute video of people talking Italian about some topic, I wouldn't understand. Especially the further, the hardest I try. But if I'm in flow state, and let's say for instance that I have YouTube on autoplay, then YouTube ends the video, let's say an English speaking video that I was listening to, while at the same time I'm doing a task that gets me into flow state. While this is happening, the next YouTube video that happens to be is Italian, and now I'm listening to an Italian YouTube video at the same time in flow state. What would happen is that I will have a better understanding of that video over if I consciously was trying to understand the YouTube video itself. So in simpler terms, or in a different way, if you give an Italian YouTube video to a surfer and ask him to listen to it before surfing and then to surf while listening to that Italian video, the result will be different based on whether he was in flow state or not. If he was in flow state and having a little bit of understanding of other Latin languages like French, English, or whatever, he will be able to insinuate what the video is saying simply by him being in flow state. So flow state is this thing that is like a boosting hypnotization of the brain, if we can say so. And then the question is, once we understand this, is up to what extent is flow state an enhancement of predictability to the fortune teller or the voyant or whatever? And when does it get into the luck, lucidity, creating reality type of ability that the voyant or the fortune teller has over you, basically, because they're predicting, creating your reality. So all of this stuff is according to your belief over the prediction, according to your belief over what I'm saying right now. Yeah, so this is what I had to say about fortune tellers, voyants, and why they have a kind of flow state activity that they get into in order to predict or know stuff about you in a non-discriminative way, because this is how this place is supposed to happen. Not happen, but if you were to discriminate against people, maybe you will have it work once or twice, but at some point it will stop working. So yeah, thank you for watching again, and see you on the next video.